Welcome back. This is the 7th episode of Historical Event. This episode will be the last episode of Season 1. This will cover events from July and August. July 13th. The 1930 FIFA World Cup was the inaugural tournament for men's national football teams, held in Uruguay from 13 to July 30, 1930. The tournament featured 13 teams, with only a few European teams participating due to the Great Depression. The teams were divided into 4 groups, with the winners progressing to the semifinals. France and the United States won the first 2 matches, defeating Mexico and Belgium. Argentina, Uruguay, the United States, and Yugoslavia qualified for the semifinals. Uruguay defeated Argentina 4-2 in the final, becoming the first nation to win the World Cup. Francisco Varallo, the last living player from the 1930 World Cup, died in 2010. The 2030 World Cup will feature the opening match at Estadio Centenario to honor the centennial of the World Cup. The 1930 World Cup final is the first and only one to be contested between 2 Hispanic and South American sides. July 20th. Apollo 11 was the first American spaceflight to land humans on the Moon. Commander Neil Armstrong and Lunar Module pilot Buzz Aldrin landed the Apollo Lunar Module Eagle on July 20, 1969. Armstrong became the first person to step onto the Moon's surface 6 hours and 39 minutes later, on July 21. Aldrin joined Armstrong and spent about 2¼ hours together exploring the site they named Tranquility Base upon landing. Armstrong and Aldrin collected 47.5 pounds of lunar material to bring back to Earth as pilot Michael Collins flew the command module Columbia in lunar orbit. Apollo 11 effectively proved the U.S. victory in the space race, demonstrating spaceflight superiority and fulfilling a national goal proposed by President John F. Kennedy. July 20th. Vincent van Gogh was a Dutch post-impressionist painter who created around 2,100 artworks, including 860 oil paintings, in just over a decade. His oeuvre included landscapes, still lifes, portraits, and self-portraits, characterized by bold colors and dramatic brushwork. Van Gogh's work gained critical attention before he died from a self-inflicted gunshot at age 37. Born into an upper-middle-class family, Van Gogh drew as a child and showed signs of mental instability. He worked as an art dealer and later became a missionary in southern Belgium. Van Gogh's early works consisted of still lives and depictions of peasant laborers. In 1888, he moved to Arles, France, where his art changed and he turned his attention to the natural world. Van Gogh suffered from psychotic episodes and delusions, and his friendship with Gauguin ended after a confrontation with a razor. He spent time in psychiatric hospitals and was believed to have shot himself in the chest with a revolver on July 27, 1890. August 3rd. Holiday World and Splash and Safari, formerly named Santa Claus Land, is a theme park and water park located in Santa Claus, Indiana, United States. The theme park opened on August 3, 1946 and features rides, live entertainment, and games that are divided into 4 sections that celebrate Christmas, Halloween, Thanksgiving, and the 4th of July. Holiday World features 3 wooden roller coasters, most notably the Voyage, which has consistently ranked in Amusement Today's Golden Ticket Awards as one of the best in the world. Holiday World also features 2 steel coasters. The water park, Splash and Safari, opened in 1993 and features 2 of the longest water coasters in the world, Wildebeest and Guinness World Record holder Mammoth. The water park also contains a launched water coaster, raft rides, water slides, and other family-friendly water attractions. August 10th. The August 2020 Midwest Derecho was a severe weather event that affected the Midwestern United States on August 10 to 11, 2020, primarily in eastern Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, and Indiana. It caused high winds, weak tornadoes, torrential rain, and large hail. The damage was moderate to severe, with sustained wind speeds of 70 miles per hour. The greatest damage occurred in eastern Iowa and northern Illinois, where multiple tornadoes touched down. The derecho caused wide-scale utility disruptions, residential and commercial property damage, and severe damage to corn and soybean crops. Cedar Rapids, Iowa, was the most severely damaged, suffering a near-complete blackout, widespread property damage, and an estimated loss of at least half of the city's tree canopy. The derecho caused over $11 billion in damages and prompted a years-long cleanup effort. August 17th. Arktika is a retired nuclear-powered icebreaker of the Soviet, now Russian, Arktika class, which was the first surface ship to reach the North Pole from 1975 to 2008. In service from 1975 to 2008, she was the first surface ship to reach the North Pole, a feat achieved on August 17, 1977, during an expedition dedicated to the 60th anniversary of the October Revolution. It is a double-hulled icebreaker with a 48 mm outer hull and 25 mm inner hull, with a 50 cm cast steel prow for icebreaking. The ship can break through a maximum ice thickness of 2.8 meters and has an air bubbling system, ABS, that delivers 24 cubic meters per second of steam from jets 9 meters below the surface. The ship is divided into 8 bulkheads, providing 9 watertight compartments and allowing short towing operations. It also has a helicopter pad and hangar at the aft of the ship, and Milne 2 hoplite or CAM of Ka-27 Helix helicopters are used for scouting expeditions to find safe routes through ice floes. August 24. Windows 95 is a consumer-oriented operating system developed by Microsoft. The first operating system in the 9X family, it is the successor to Windows 3.1 and was released to manufacturing on July 14, 1995, and generally to retail on August 24, 1995, almost 3 months after the release of Windows NT 3.51. It was the first version to include the modern Windows feel, taskbar, start menu. It merged Microsoft's formerly separate MS-DOS and Microsoft Windows products and featured significant improvements over its predecessor, such as a simplified plug-and-play feature and a 32-bit preemptive multitasking architecture. Windows 95 introduced numerous functions and features that were later featured in later Windows versions and continue in modern variations to this day. It is considered one of the biggest and most important products in the personal computing industry. Windows 95 was followed by Windows 98 3 years later, but remained the most popular operating system in 1998. Microsoft ended mainstream support for Windows 95 on December 31, 2000, and Windows 95 received only 1 year of extended support, ending on December 31, 2001. August 31st. On August 31, 1997, Princess Diana of Wales died in a fatal car crash in Paris, France. Diana's partner, Dodi Fayed, and the driver of the Mercedes-Benz W140, Henri Paul, were found dead inside the car. Dodi's bodyguard, Trevor Rees-Jones, was the only survivor. In 1999, a French investigation found that Paul lost control of the vehicle at high speed while intoxicated by alcohol and prescription drugs. In 2008, a jury at the British inquest, Operation Paget, returned a verdict of unlawful killing through grossly negligent driving by Paul and the following paparazzi vehicles. Rees-Jones survived because he was wearing a seatbelt, but other investigations revealed that none of the occupants were wearing them. Diana was 36 years old at the time of her death, and her televised funeral was watched by an estimated 2.5 billion people. Despite criticism from the royal family, public interest in Diana has remained high and she continues to receive regular press coverage in the decades since her death. That's a wrap for the Season 1 of this series. If you wish to see Season 2 of this series, then please leave a comment. Thank you for watching and see you next time.